Silence can often get drowned out by the clamor of our thoughts, words, and deeds. We catch ourselves always chatting, messaging, or sharing on social media, stuffing our days with non-stop talk. Yet the teachings of Buddhism remind us that sometimes silence isn't just valuable, but deeply life-changing. It shows us the strength of silence and how to apply it smartly, particularly in 5 key moments. This trip through Buddhism's spiritual lessons will guide us to grasp the importance of staying quiet in 5 specific cases. These ideas give deep wisdom that can motivate us to live more aware, balanced, and meaningful lives. Let's dive into these old truths, welcoming the calm of silence and discovering fixes for our daily issues. The power of silence. Silence isn't just a lack of sound, it's a deep way of existing. As the famous Vietnamese Zen teacher Thich Nhat Hanh said, "Silence is vital. We require it as much as we need air, just like plants crave sunlight. If our heads are packed with words and ideas, there's no room left for us." Buddhism spots this emptiness and urges us to nurture it across different parts of life. Silence opens the door to inner calm, awareness, and knowing ourselves. It lets us hear not just the outside world, but more key, the quiet hints from our own hearts and thoughts. It's a strong aid that can shift how we connect with others and handle life's hurdles. As we start this path through the 5 cases where Buddhism suggests silence, remember, it's not about sitting idle or uncaring, it's about staying fully there, in tune and on purpose. Let's check out these cases, see why they matter, and take silence as a way to gain strength. Silence in the face of anger. Always stay silent when anger hits you. These words carry deep truth, since anger is a strong and usually harmful feeling. When angry, our speech and moves are driven by this fierce mood, and they might spark unwanted results. Buddhism explains that anger comes from clinging, dislike, and not knowing. When we grip our wants or dislikes tightly and miss how all things change and link up, anger grabs us. In those times, silence works as a strong fix. Silence creates room to stop and think about where the anger stems from. It lets us pull back and watch our feelings without quick blame or outburst. Through silence, we can do aware breathing and self-checks, getting clear views on anger's true roots. Plus, silence guards against the tough words and acts that tag along with anger. It stops us from hurting others or ourselves. In the quiet of holding back, we can safeguard our bonds and build a vibe of peace and clarity. In Buddhist tales, there's the story of the 2 arrows. The first arrow stands for the starting hurt or pain we feel when bad stuff hits us. The second arrow marks the extra pain we cause ourselves by reacting to the first one. By using silence against anger, we skip firing that second arrow and cut down pointless pain. Let's go further into the smarts of silence when angry. To really get this lesson, it's key to look at anger's makeup and why Buddhism pushes silence as the right reply. Anger in Buddhism shows up as a sign of our clingings and dislikes. When we crave something hard or hate a certain setup, anger pops as a reply to the felt danger to our wants. Clinging to desires hides the links between all things and the shifting world. Facing anger, silence turns into a safe spot for self-knowing and thought. When mad, our brains fog with feelings and thoughts turn wild and rash. In that spot, our speech and deeds can bring regret and damage to us and folks around. Silence lets us step away from anger's quick heat. It builds a gap between feelings and replies. Rather than snapping in the moment's fire, we can breathe, find a beat of calm, and watch the anger without blame. This habit roots in awareness and self-knowing, main parts of the Eightfold Path. In quiet, we can ask key questions. Why am I mad? What am I holding on to here? What dislike sparks this anger? These checks can spark deep views on anger sources. We might find our clingings are off base, our dislikes come from mix-ups, or our hopes make the pain. Also, silence acts as a guard, keeping us from fallout of rash speech and deeds. In anger's grip, we could say, cutting things or pick bad choices. By picking silence, we block harm to others and keep our bonds solid. The 2 arrows tale shows this nicely. The first arrow is the first hurt or pain from bad events. This is life's part and can't be dodged. But the second arrow is the hurt we add by reacting to the first. By hitting back at the first with anger, we launch the second, making extra pain. With silence against anger, we handle the first arrow better. We note the hurt, but don't pile on with rage and snap back. This cuts our pain and stops harm to others, building kinder, smoother surroundings. Silence against anger calls for awareness, self-check, and holding back. It lets us turn anger into grasp and kindness. By taking this lesson, we slowly build tough feelings and smarts. Holding silence when angry isn't hiding feelings or saying they're not real. It's a call to meet emotions better and more aware. When quiet, we make room for self-think and self-kindness. We note anger without blame and watch it with interest. This basic act of noting feelings can change us deep. On top of self-knowing, silence helps us hear others better. When marred, we fix only on our views and senses. We might miss the other's words or feel for their side. By picking silence, we open hearts and heads to better grasp the case and people. Silence's strength against anger is breaking the snap-back loop. Replying to trouble with anger sparks chains of bad feelings and acts. Our anger might stir defense or back anger in others, making a wrecking fight loop. Silence cuts this and gives a shot at peaceful building fixes. In the end, silence when angry brings more feeling balance and evenness. It lets us drop grudges and hard feelings, clearing space for pardon and grasp. By growing this habit, we near the Buddhist goal of freedom from anger's pain. Silence in the face of gossip and slander. Always stay silent when you hear gossip and slander. This lesson highlights smart speech and the fallout of joining bad talk. Gossip and slander act like toxic arrows that hurt not just the target but the speaker too. In Buddhism, right speech is a core rule, stressing true, kind, helpful talk. Gossip and slander break these and breed disharmony and pain. Picking silence here fits right speech and boosts kinder, smoother groups. Gossip and slander grow from bad feelings like envy, grudge, or wish to ruin reps. Joining such talk not only keeps bad moods in us, but spreads them out. It wrecks bonds, trust, and group ties. Silence here does a few jobs. First, it stops us from bad speech. By not joining gossip or slander, we dodge moral and karma hits from lies or harm. Second, silence gives time to think on the aim behind the gossip. Are we doing this from envy, rage, or scare? Such self-think can spark personal change. Also, picking silence can nudge gossipers to rethink. When we skip joining or hearing, it signals we don't back it. This no join might push others to weigh their words hit. Gossip and slander spread wide in society, and their bad effects are clear. In Buddhism, these break right speech, part of the Eightfold Path. Right speech means using words aware and right, pushing truth, kindness, helpful chat. The ban on gossip and slander comes from knowing words' power. Words shape our world, sway feelings, and touch lives. When we do gossip or slander, it's often from bad moods like envy, grudge, or rage. These cloud judgment, leading to lies or pumped up flaws. Harm from gossip and slander hits two ways. First, it wounds the target. False or mean words hurt rep, spark feeling pain, strain bonds. Second, it wounds the speaker. Bad speech makes bad karma, bringing future pain. Plus, it keeps bad moods in the speaker, adding to their hurt. Picking silence against gossip and slander breaks the bad loop strong. It's no join, refusing to help spread bad words. This fits right speech, guards our karma and feeling health. Silence gives a pause to check aims. Facing gossip, we ask, why pull to this? Envy to feel big or hurt someone. This self-check changes us, spotting our bad moods and their pain. Also, silence sends a strong note to others. Refusing bad speech shows we don't like it. Our quiet might make others pause on word hits and even stop bad talk. Broader, silence against gossip builds kindness, respect, empathy culture. It pushes us past flaws to see good traits. It grows grasp and kindness, aiding smoother, caring groups. Silence against gossip and slander lives. Buddhist right speech and kindness. It lets us use words more aware, guard our health, and add to better, smoother society. Silence in the midst of conflict. Always stay silent during conflicts. Conflict is a sure part of people dealings, but how we face it shapes the end big. Buddhism pushes silence as conflict reply, stressing awareness, kindness, grasp in fixes. Conflicts grow from view, value, or interest clashes. They spark hot fights, mean words, feeling pain. In those spots, silence cools like a bomb, letting step back, think, wise, kind reply. Silence in conflict isn't dodging or hiding feelings. It's making space for true hearing, empathy, common ground. By silence, we let self and others speak free of blame, fear, or ramp up. Plus, silence cuts the snapback cycle. Replying conflict with rage or guard up ramps it. Harding fixes. Silence breaks this, giving think pause and aware reply. Conflict weaves into human ties and dealings. Family spat, work clash, friend fight. It's common. How we handle shapes bonds and self-good. In Buddhism, silence fits conflict for mindful, kind fixes. Let's go deeper into silence smarts mid-conflict. Conflict grows from opinion, value, interest diffs. When they ramp to fights, rows, body hits, they bring feeling pain, bond harm, bad ends for all. Buddhism sees conflicts tough as they stir strong moods, fog judgment. Silence in conflict isn't dodge or feeling squash. It's choice for space of true hearing, empathy, grasp. It's pause letting both speak, sense quick blame, or ramp fear. In this space, we note own moods and replies plus others. Silence in conflict aids true hearing strong, a missed but key chat skill. Quiet, we lock on others' words, get their view, feel their moods. This kind hearing calms, opens building chat. Plus, silence gives self-think. Mid-conflict heat, emotions sweep us, harding big picture or long hit seas. By silence, we get moment to think. Conflict roots, our part, fix shots. Silence in fix also stops more ramp. Replying with rage, guard, counter hits keeps bad cycle, dishearts common ground. Fixes, silence steps in, giving measured, thought reply. In silence, practice mid-conflict. We drop right need or win push. We put bond good and mutual grasp first. This mirrors Buddhist no cling, saying ego grip, once bring pain, block light path. Silence power and fix shows in growing empathy, kindness, give take. It pushes past quick moods to others, feels, needs. So we make air where both speak, find common, team on fix. Silence mid-conflict roots deep in Buddhist awareness, kindness no cling. It's strong tool for wiser, empathic, grasp-filled conflict nerve. Embracing it aids. Conflict fixes saving bonds, cutting harm, growing harmony. Silence in times of suffering. Always stay silent when you see others suffer. Kindness course, Buddhism, and this lesson stresses silence power to show kindness, give comfort to pained ones. Facing others' pain. First reply might be comfort words or tips, but Buddhism says often, silence cuts deeper, kinder. Silence shares our being here, empathy, judge-free here will. Pain weaves human life, showing as body hurt, feeling pain, daily fights. Seeing others suffer, we itch to fix or cheer words, good aims, but Buddhism teaches silence often stronger. Silence mid-suffer says we share pain load. It makes space for pain to share feels, thoughts, lives at own speed. In silent space, they find comfort, back. Plus, silence shows respect for person's own path and suffer nav skill. It knows not all pain lives by words or tips. Sometimes, top gift is our being and deep here. Seeing others suffer happens often in linked world. Friends split pain, family health scare, stranger heart. Such times, we lean to comfort or tips to ease seen pain. Buddhism says silence, often deeper, kinder reply. This fits right speech, stressing kind, helpful talk. Facing others suffer, silence can be kindest, best pick. Silence mid-suffer shares presence, empathy. It says we're here to back, hear pained one. Words even good, sometimes miss compassion depth. Silence makes space for pained to share feels.